Most people in life expect to have total control over their life, especially if they live in America. In America, we are a land of freedom, we are a land of liberty, and we are a land of living and livelihood. How a person makes their living is between that person and wherever they make their living, however they build their career, however they produce an income. How a person produces an income is completely 100% up to that panhandler. And I'm going to joke with that title for a minute because every human being on the planet is peddling something. You're either peddling a service like accounting, where you work in a company and you crunch numbers and you do mathematical equations and you help them manage their budget or whatever the hell it is, their financial expenditures and their income, etc., the entire revenue of a corporation. Or you're working in the insurance field and you're doing something with numbers with that, and I don't even know how to conceptualize that. But also there are people who work in retail who make an hourly wage. They don't have a salary, they don't have much in the way of benefits unless they've been there forever, and openly that's the truth. No one has the right to presume that someone is not working on things. I used to make my living by selling services, and the selling of services can be a monthly income, the selling of services can be an annual contract, the selling of services can be a 6-week course. The selling of services is what people with intelligence and minds do to help populate the earth with, well, let's face it, more training, more intelligence. There's always a liar who wants to imply that someone who is homeless has no job. That is not truthful based on the facts I know about people who live in the streets. And that's what they say. I live in the streets. I've been homeless for this long. I stay at the shelter. They tell you the whole story of what's going on for them. A lot of them have been in trouble with stupidity of codependency and stupidity of decision, but a good handful of us have been hit by liars of the world. The liars of the world steal rights. They steal rights because they steal from someone. They steal their intellectual property. They steal their designs. They steal their life. They steal their name. They steal, and that's fraud. And it is highly, incredibly immoral and successfully illegal. It's illegal because someone in the force probably doesn't want to do their job. It's not hard to drive around a police car and do nothing all day and get paid for it. And I'm not mocking them. I'm just saying that they don't want to help people. They're supposed to be community servants. They're supposed to be community protectors. But sometimes the shit they try to protect isn't their right to do at all under any law, any ordinance, and any federal or international treaty. So we have to really be making sure we're training people correctly. But what I'm really talking about is a person's profession. My profession at this time is not the same as my profession 5 years ago. My profession at this time is based on how I have to live my life. People who live in homelessness aren't necessarily dying to stay in homelessness, but they can review shelters and decide that they're not for them. They don't like the people there. They don't like the procedures there. They don't like the life there. They don't like the lack of food there. They don't like it. They don't like the lockdown there, and they don't like the abuse that happens when they're sleeping to their property or their personhood. And that's the truth. It's not the same between men and women. It is absolutely true. And what pisses me off more than anything else in the life of me is when some female tries to tell me how to be more of a man. I'm sorry, I'm the man, and I'm the one living amongst men. And when you're not in the room, Miss Female, you don't know what men talk about. You don't know how men interact. But once a woman is in that room, it's totally different. I've had monkeyed sessions when I've done my marketing trainings because a man brought his wife to that group. And her emotionalism just kind of fucked, the whole relationship. And that's totally true. And she ruined it for me to go on to have another session with him after we properly concluded. He was sort of a straight-laced guy, and he was sort of curious about what I was doing. But what he found was that some of the stuff I was suggesting totally blew the socks off his clients, totally made them happy, and he was making himself a very good living. He told me everything in my life is paid for. I'm not worried about retirement. I've done a really good job with my business. He had 5, 6 maybe employees, so he's a microscopic business, or what we call a small business owner. But his wife had no life. And I can't say they were the best match in terms of someone who ever introduced them, but they found each other in college or something, I don't remember. But she monkeyed almost every session with her attitudes, with her lack of knowledge of business, and it just got really old. And I think he was trying to include her. I think he was trying to encourage her. I think he was trying to train her or help her go and work in his company. But that's not always right. Then there's different types of couples that I know who work a business together, and they work wholeheartedly to provide for their families together in a set type of business. And I've seen it work marvelously for them. Some of them came totally out of poverty, totally out of job change, totally out of losing a job, totally out of losing a business, and it really worked for them. At the same time, I've seen power couples who were already successful shift to another business and go on to millions of dollars. You see, life in America is about building business, and building business requires the building of relationships, and the key to building any relationship is listening. The minute someone stops listening, they ruin the relationship. The minute they start reacting, they ruin the relationship. The minute they choose not to talk to someone like a little child would do, they lose the relationship. It's true. There are men in this community that I don't want to talk to. I have no energy for it. I have no knowledge of how to do it. I have no language for it. And that's truthful for me. But it's amazing how those men want to piss all over me in their jealousy and their stupidity. I'm like, go do your life. Stop stealing my stuff. Stop taking my computer technology. Stop taking my designs. You can't use them. I've had them online for years. And what, you're going to steal my phone and start deleting all my shit? You don't have the right to do that. They even delete pictures of me and my late wife. How fucking rude is that? Now, I can be outraged, and I can explain that outrage, and I can share the passage with you in this audiocast by the tonage of my voice. And I am absolutely outraged that some shitbag is trying to cut my beard off in the middle of the night, that I can't sleep in a safe place, that I choose, that the Lord chooses for me, without some bastard invading that space and trying to cut my beard off out of what? Some sort of what? Is that God's grace? Is that what you think you're doing? Or are you sexually assaulting someone's face? And I've been assaulted. I've been put under some sort of knife, if you will. I've been cut in certain places that shouldn't have been cut by anyone, especially you. But what I'm saying to you is don't monkey with my life, because here's what I know about God. God is a vengeful God, and God will attack your life. And if you're still in homelessness, maybe you're not making good decisions. Maybe you've chosen the wrong boss. Maybe you're not getting the right attention or the right support, but it could be just because you're making still bad decisions. I'm not making bad decisions. Bad decisions are being made for me all around me. Yesterday, I had some motherfucking bitch come up and condescend to me, almost talking to me as if I was a 4-year-old. I came off that stool I was sitting on in the shade, and I almost wanted to kill her. I am not fucking 4 years old, and you are not going to talk to me like that. No man would tolerate that, especially from a woman, and especially from a total stranger. She was trying to monkey with me and place a bad record on me, and I could tell in seconds. I am a mentalist for sure. I am a spiritualist, absolutely. I'm a mystic, absolutely. But don't you fucking think I'm an idiot about life.